Hey, it's Jordan with the Young Turks, and we are at the Sacred Stone Camp. And I'm here with LaDonna Braveheart.
Brave Bull.
Oh,
Brave Bull.
LaDonna,
I'm a brave bull.
LaDonna Brave Bull. And you are described to me as pretty much as local gets here. And you really have a pulse and heart of this camp and this area. Kind of talk to me just about your background, where you were raised, your tribe, your history, and what viewers who aren't familiar with Native Americans who live here should know.
So my name is LaDonna Brave Bull Allard. I'm an enrolled member of Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. I'm Tribal Historic Preservation Section 106 Coordinator. And this is my home. I grew up on top of the hill here. My father's house is here. Our family cemeteries are here. This is where I grew up. I grew up on the Cannonball. We are Ihunktua, Pabiska, and Sisitan Dakota on my father's side. We are Hunkpapa, Sihasapa, and Oglala Lakota on my mother's side. So I am Dakota and Lakota. My people have been here. I am also, on my other hat, I'm the tribal historian and tribal genealogist for the tribe. And so I've been compiling the history of all of our people in this area. But I grew up on the Cannonball. I know what the Cannonball River looked like before the Army Corps came and dammed us and flooded our land. I know the stories. I know all the original names of our homes, our creeks, and our medicines. And so I have the roots growing right out of my feet.
And you say you know what all the water and the land looked like before they came here. Talk about growing up. How did you guys consume water from the river? Kind of talk about coming up, what it looked like, those kinds of things.
So we grew up here. We hauled our water right from the river. We grew up without electricity here. We grew up without propane or fuel or anything like that. So we used the wood. We hauled all our water in big tanks with our horses and wagon and took them on top of the hill. I always tell people that Sunday was a horrible time for my brothers because that's when we washed clothes, and so they had to haul all the water from the river all the way up to the top of the hill, and they were working all day.
Must have been tired. So your tribe is here. There's many tribes in this area. Can you talk about the people who might not know, Native American history that much? Your tribe in particular. What were you known for growing up? What are some of the sacred practices? Kind of the DNA, if you will, of who your tribe is.
So we are originally called the Buffalo People. And from the Buffalo People, we fought with the United States Army. So when we were in battle, they called us the Sioux, and we became referred to by the Americans as the Great Sioux Nation. We are Oshetishakawan, are the Seven Council Fires, who are divided into individual bands. We have no clans in our culture. We are bands. And so we have 5 nations in North Dakota alone, and I have no idea what they do.
And before this pipeline and all those things, as you guys you grew up, became an adult, were you fairly on your own here? There wasn't too many interference, not things like governments putting down pipelines or other things. Talk about as this tribe has grown over the years. Before this, were there any obstacles put in by whether corporate America or environmental concerns?
Are you sure you want to hear this? We have been fighting since day one. We are the people who saved the world and killed Custer and took the American flag in battle. We are the people who are the largest land-based tribes and retained all of our land. We are the people who have fought continuously against the United States and still continue to fight. We have filed acts of genocide in the World Court in 1940s. We are the people who have been standing and continue to stand. I am the descendant of the Whitestone Massacre, where the government came in and massacred my people because we were the wrong Indians. They were looking for other people. I am the people who, when the Pick Sloan came in 1948, we become the expendable people, where they built a dam above us and a dam below us and flooded our land and took our sacred stories. We are the people who continue to fight. There has never been just leave you alone. We have been fighting with the United States government for our rights to live, to hunt, to fish, to exist as our own people. And I ask you, why do we have to continue to fight in our own land, in our own homes, with our own way of life? Why do we have to continue to fight to be who we are?
You shouldn't. That's the truth. You were talking before about some other people who have come down here, and because of natural disaster spills, oil spills, man-made disasters, their water is toxic, and they're coming to support you. Water obviously is number one natural necessity. When the pipeline formations started to be built and all these things, kind of talk about from the beginning the process of I'm assuming none of the tribes here were consulted. Kind of talk about what it's been like since the beginning in terms of your fight with the government.
So when Dakota Access first came in to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe to inform them they were building this pipeline, it was 2014. I remember the day because the Tribal Historic Preservation, Washtay Wee Young, called me and told me they were coming. And she showed me this map, and I said, Wash, I think I'm the closest landowner. Oh my God. And so she said, come to the meeting and hear what they have to say. So I went to the meeting, and at that time, our chairman, Dave Archambault II, stood up and told him he did not support this pipeline. And I remember Washtay Wee from the THPO got up and said these were the numerous things that were wrong with what they were doing. And at the end, I remember talking to the lady from Dakota Access saying, remember me, I'm going to be the one that's standing, because I cannot let you build a pipeline next to my son's grave. I will not. I am a mother. And so in that process, the tribe, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, started the legal process of sending letters to Dakota Access, to the Army Corps, to the Game and Fish, to the Advisory Council. We were sending letters, and I kept everyone, and emails and correspondence from 2014. We were not getting anything back. And then we seen a map where Dakota Access totally blanked us out. We were no longer in existence. They no longer acknowledged us because they are 500 feet off our border. And to us, that was saying that we didn't matter. We didn't exist. We were expendable, and we are not expendable. We have a right to live. And so we started looking at the water and everything. And then we started doing the research on all the oil spills in North Dakota alone. We did the background on Energy Transfer. And yes, I'm watching you, Energy Transfer, with their substandard steel that they're using to build the pipelines, with the fast amount that they are pushing their construction crews, where the work is not done very well, where they are telling the community, we are bringing jobs, but they are not bringing jobs. They bring their own crews. And where this is a benefit for America, but it is basically getting these pipelines. Midland Pipeline will come through to connect the Dakota Pipeline to bring the tar sands through, and the sweet Bakken crude, and they will connect in Illinois to go down to New Orleans to ship this oil out of the country. None of it is for America. And so I really have a hard time with this. We are doing this for America when it is not. I cannot believe that we have a private corporation who is violating every federal law, who is violating traditional cultural law to push their agenda. And we do know that they gave a great deal of funds to the North Dakota State Historic Preservation Office. We do know that they gave a great deal of funds to other individuals, federal agencies and state agencies. And so this is the first time I've ever seen where the environmental laws are not followed. The historic preservation laws are not followed. And I keep on thinking, I did not make these laws. These are federal laws made by the United States of the government. And so basically I'm asking, follow the law. I'm not asking anybody to do anything bad. Follow the law. When I did a statement to Colonel Henderson and told him, that's all we're asking, follow the law. And I really have a hard time where now with the negative press that's coming out stating we're protesters and violent activists, and none of that. What basically is here is families who came up because of the water. Why is water important? Oh wait, Miniwachoni is the water of life. Every human being is almost 70% water. Everything that we see needs water to live. Without water, we die. And so Orville Looking Horse had told me this story about this great big giant tree and where the roots are, the huge root system that's in the Gulf of Mexico. And you come up with this big giant tree called the Mississippi, and one of the branches is the Missouri, and all these tributaries all come out. And on the bottom of those roots is the Oglala Aquifer. And this one tree feeds everything. And I don't know if people are understanding the whole concept of if they build this pipeline and when it breaks, because it will break, it destroys a whole nation. And right now, look what's happening in the Gulf. Our tree is dying. The roots are dying. And I'm really having a hard time understanding why common people don't know that.
And there was an oil spill in South Dakota a few months ago, right under you. So it's not like it's not close by here where it's happening.
There have been over 200 spills in North Dakota alone in the last, I think, 2 years. And so it's not maybe if sometime in the future, it's when. And a lot of the spills that we're seeing, the pipe has been in less than 2 years, less than 5 years. I mean, we're not talking about a maybe. And then what happens after the spill? If you have heard all the media reports on how the land has been reclaimed, oh wait, there isn't any. Because the land hasn't been claimed. What happens with the companies, they come in, they cause the damage, they leave. And there is no recovery. And the people are left. The animals are dying. The earth is dying. Who cares? We do.
And I also think if the government found that building a pipeline through, let's say, the state of Maine all the way through Pennsylvania that went straight through New York City, I don't think they would do it. It only seems that they build these environmentally very dangerous things around communities that they might not see the same way as, more mainstream Caucasian and wealthier individuals.
The economics is a big part. They target low economic people because they don't believe that they have the ability to fight them. And in the other culture, all you have to do is bring out some cash and this will soothe your wounds. That don't work for us. We have been dictated since the beginning of time to care for this earth. That is our only reason for living. My grandma told me, they did everything to us. They starved us. They poisoned us. They killed us. They took our children away from us. They sent us to boarding schools. They tried to assimilate us. They took our land. They did everything, but we're here. We're still standing. We're still alive because we have an obligation to the earth. We must stand to save the earth. It is the only reason why we live. And I don't know how many people understand that whole concept. We must live. And we must live for everybody. On the other hand, that probably makes us the meanest people that ever walked the earth. Just joking.
And a little bit about you. I hear that you are a protector of many. There's been people who have protectors here who have been, tossed in a cell and, you have provided relief to them. Do you feel a responsibility to your kids, to your tribe, to the people who have come in to show support? Because it seems to me, from what I've been told, that you have been a very big support to people.
I don't look at that. I look at like basically the garbage picker upper, the water deliverer, and the supply deliverer, and trying to help out people. I'm not a leader. I've never been a leader. I'm a grandma, and I do what grandmas are supposed to do.
How many grandkids you have?
I don't know. Last time I counted, there must be 8,000 people in that camp.
Okay.
No. Just personally, I have 17 grandchildren, but
And lastly, I know the water is obviously the biggest thing at stake here, but in terms of the message it would send to, I don't want to call it victory, but to protect your land. And do you think this is really not just a fight for your water, but a fight against the universal philosophy of greed?
something's happening here. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think there's healing coming out of the earth. I think that each nation that's here is going to go home to stand up in their own areas. I think that each people that are here understand how important the water is. And even as we stand here, people across the United States are standing in their own areas. And also New Zealand and Australia and Sweden and all the other countries that contacted us. I believe that it's time across the world to protect what we have, to protect the water and protect the land. I believe that there are really good people in the world and they understand what's happening. They just didn't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All I know is to pray and to pray hard and to pray that the thought in the world is about this earth and about this land and about how do we live in a good way? How do we live as families and relatives? How do we stop all those divisions we have in this world?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.